Prasanatma Balana Prabhu, we can start Prabhuji. I have started the streaming Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much. So Hare Krishna to all the devotees. Danvats pranams. Welcoming you all for Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. So today we have His Grace Madhav Sharan Prabhu, who is going to give his association to us. So Prabhuji, welcome to the forum. Thank you so much for joining in. And he is going to now speak on verse number 1, which is fifth canto, 15th chapter, verse 1. So that's the shloka we'll be looking at. So Prabhuji, welcome, and over to you. I hope you're able to hear. Madhav Sharan Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Yes. Prabhu, we are not able to hear you. Prabhu, can you hear us? Okay, Prabhu is saying he is not able to hear us. What about the others? You can hear what I am saying?
Yes, Prabhuji, we can hear you, Prabhu.
Okay. So then I think just try to reach out to him. No, he's speaking, but we are not able to hear him. Shankarshan Prabhu, can you call him? Because I don't want to call from my instrument. I might get disconnected or something can happen.
Yeah, I'll call him, Prabhu.
Please, please. Thank you so much. Okay, so he'll reconnect, I think. I just messaged him. Wait.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Prabhuji will log in again one more time.
Yeah. Okay, Prabhu, I think. So devotees, kindly bear. There's a little bit of a glitch. So sorry for that. I try to sort it out quickly. Hare Krishna. So since it's taking a little time, any Mataji wants to do a little small kirtan, just the Hare Krishna, that will be nice if they can do.
Hare Krishna, can you hear me, Prabhu?
Now we can hear you, Prabhu. Now we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, can you hear us? We can hear you now.
Ha, Prabhu, I can hear.
You can
Sorry
hear.
for the connection problems.
Okay, no worries, Prabhu. It's all right.
Yeah.
So I was saying, welcoming you to this
Okay.
forum, the Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Thank you so much for your association, Prabhu. Looking forward to hear from you. I'll not take much time. Over to you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Om Ajnasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishnateshaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Deshitariणे Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasari Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna.
Looks like there is some network issue there.
Yeah, sorry, it's some network issues are there. Can you
Yeah.
hear me, Prabhu?
Prabhu, now we can hear you. So maybe it's a little unstable. Even it's okay even if the video is not
Yeah,
on sometime. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, okay, yeah, okay, Prabhu.
Uh,
So,
but we can hear you clearly now. So
okay,
please go
okay.
ahead. You want me to share, then I can do that. So
Yeah, you can please share, Prabhu. I will read the sloka. We are covering today Canto 5, Chapter 15, Shloka 1. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sri Shuka Uvacha. Bharatasyaत्मजः सुमतिर् नामाभितोऽयं यु अववावक केचित् पाखण्डिना वृषभपदवीम् अनुवर्तमानं चानार्य अवेद समां नातां देवतां स्वमनिषया पापेयस्या कलौ कल्पयिष्यन्ति. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Srila Shukadeva Goswami continued. The son of Maharaja Bharata, known as Sumati, followed the path of Rishabhadeva, but some unscrupulous people imagine him to be Lord Buddha himself. These people, who were actually atheistic and of bad character, took up the Vedic principle in an imaginary, infamous way to support their activities. Thus, these sinful people accepted Sumati as Lord Buddha Deva and propagated the theory that everyone should follow the principles of Sumati. In this way, they were carried away by mental concoction. Purport: those who are Aryans strictly follow the Vedic principles. But in this age of Kali, a community has sprung up known as the Arya Samaja, which is ignorant of the import of the Vedas in the Parampara system. Their leaders decry all bona fide acharyas and they pose themselves as the real followers of the Vedic principles. These acharyas who do not follow the Vedic principles are presently known as the Arya Samajas or the Jains. Not only do they follow the Vedic principles, but they have no relationship with Lord Buddha. Imitating the behavior of Sumati, they claim to be the descendants of Rishabhadeva. Those who are Vaishnavas carefully avoid their company because they are ignorant of the path of the Vedas. The further purport we can see through the class. So basically, fifth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam explains about the two topics, as we know. One is the sthanam. Sthanam is basically is explained in the next chapter, the 16th chapter to 26. So that is the location of the various geographical planetary systems, all those things prominently that one. And the Poshanam, with starting from the Manu and then the Agnidra, Nabhi, then Vrishabhadeva. Then we also saw till last 14th chapter, from 7 to 14th chapter, basically the description of Bharat Maharaj. So in this particular chapter, the further dynasty descendants of Bharat Maharaj are explained. And here it is mentioned about a son of Bharat Maharaj known as Sumati. Of course, there is no much explanations in the Srimad Bhagavatam, but the dynasties are definitely described further. But in the purport, Srila Prabhupada is mentioning basically about two parts. One is about the incarnation of Lord Buddha, and second is about the some few persons who are posing themselves as the real followers of the Vedic principles, but actually they are not following any authorized acharyas. So these two things it is explained here. So basically, if we see in the purport, as we are seeing here, Prabhupada is mentioning Lord Buddha is an incarnation of Lord Krishna, adopted a particular means to propagate the philosophy of Bhagavata Dharma. We know that Lord Buddha, he rejected the Vedas. So why it is mentioned that he is helping in propagating the philosophy of Bhagavata Dharma? That is because his teachings are based on the time, place, and circumstances. So during that time, there was a lot of killing of animals. So it is more of himsa was happening. It is mentioned that from every house, almost practically almost all houses, the blood used to flow out of the houses. That much of animal killing used to happen that time. So that's why Lord Krishna had to descend himself as Lord Buddha and stop the animal killing in the name of the Vedas. So Buddha completely rejected the Vedas. So Vedas are meant to take us towards the lotus feet of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. But at that time, in the name of Vedas, what they used to do, they used to slaughter the animals in such a way that the himsa used to happen. And in the name of Vedas, they used to go away from Krishna, away from Lord. So somebody has to stop that, going away from the Lord. That's why Buddha came and he stopped that. And he propagated ahimsa. So the whole purpose was that people, they don't go away from the lotus feet of the Lord. So then what happened later? Now Buddha has rejected the Vedas. Now it has to be brought back. Someone has to re-establish the Vedas. So Shankaracharya, he did it. So how that he mentioned that you are God by, actually Shankaracharya was a covered personalist, but also he wanted to bewilder the, not so sincere persons. So that's why he brought back the Vedas, that Vedas are right, but he told it in a different way. And he chased away actually the Buddhists out of India. Maybe they went to China, Vietnam, all those places, and Tibet. So basically the outskirts of India. And in India, there was strong propagations of Shankaracharya philosophy. Then later we know that Ramanujacharya came, and he propagated the Vishishta Advaita philosophy. And then later Madhvacharya, he came and he gave more right explanations to more Chandu, bring your mobile. Can you hear me? Can you hear
Yes,
me,
Prabhu.
Prabhu?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay. So basically the Shankaracharya, and then later Ramanujacharya, then Madhvacharya. So Madhvacharya, basically Shankaracharya told that only one, me and God are both one. So that was the philosophy propagated by Shankaracharya. Then Madhvacharya told no, too, that Atma and Paramatma, they are totally different. Then, as we know later, so many acharyas came. Basically, then the Supreme Personality of God himself, he came in the form of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he gave us the Achintya Veda Abheda Tattva. So here, Srila Prabhupada is mentioning about one verse, that what is that? Bhagavad Gita 15.15, which is Vedescha sarvair ahameva vedya vedanta krat veda videva chaham. So the real purpose of all the Vedas is to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So if that purpose is not this fulfilled, then Vedas, it has really is not fulfilled the real purpose actually. So and even there is example given of the river. So there may be so many ponds in the village which may fulfill the individual purposes, But if there is a river, it fulfills all the purposes. So one pond may be there for just washing the clothes, one pond may be there for drinking the water, all these things. But the river, since the water is always flowing, of course nowadays the rivers are polluted, but if the waters are flowing in the previous ages, the river is called pure. Actually, they can even, they used to drink the water. So the river is fulfilling all the purpose. So similarly, the real purpose of the Vedas is to understand the supreme personality of Godhead. So Buddha indirectly, uplifted the people. So Buddhism flourished for a while, of course, and then there will be particular mindset of the people which needs to be transformed slowly. That's why we had Shankaracharya came, then Ramanujacharya, then Madhvacharya, then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So here, Srila Prabhupada in purport is mentioning that atheists, they do not want any God. So those who are not very sincere, they get bewildered by the philosophy of Lord Buddha or Shankaracharya. But those who are very sincere, they follow the path of Vaishnava philosophy, which is basically the philosophy of Bhagavata Dharma. So Srila Prabhupada is beautifully explained here about that part, and there is another part. Srila Prabhupada is explaining basically about the people who pose themselves as the real followers of the Vedic principles, but they do not follow basically any acharyas. It is very, very important to follow the previous acharyas and the Guru Parampara. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said, Yashastra vidimutraja vartate kamakarataha na sasiddhim mavapnoti na sukham na param gatim. So, Shastra, if one is not following, then what will happen? He is not actually making any progress. So, and even in this life, he will not be attaining peace, and not even in the next life. So, based on the material desires, so we should not think, that this activity should be done by me, or this activity should not be done by me. Some people think that if I am getting the happiness in the particular activity, if it gives me gratification, then I will do the activity. Otherwise, I will not do. That is the lower understanding. Actually, Shastras are supposed to be followed because it's given by the Lord himself. Lord is the Father. Generally, the Father, he gives the instruction to the Son for the welfare of the Son. So that's Shastras are the words of the Lord, but they should be followed sincerely by the Vedic practitioner. Here it is mentioned actually that some of the unscrupulous people, they do not follow the Vedic authority. Shruti Smriti Puranadi Pancharatra Vidim Vina Aikantiki Harer Bhakter Utpata Eva Kalpate. So if we reject these scriptures, Shruti, Smriti, and Puranas, and do the Aikantiki Bhakti, it is unnecessary creating the disturbance in the society. That is what this it's explained in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So that's why we know so many Sahajiyas are there. They think that they have so much love for the God, but they are not following any scriptural rule, or any following and not following any guru or any authorities. So that's why it's not bona fide. It's basically the concocted idea. But If the real Vaishnavas, they follow Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. The scriptures are there. I follow it. Guru is there. I follow in the footsteps of my gurus and follow footsteps of the sadhus. I am not acting anything whimsically. Just because I know Sanskrit, I cannot tell that I know all the Shastra. It is just like telling if I know physics, if I know English, I can't tell that I know physics, or I can't tell I know medical science. If I need to give real medicines and if I need to do the surgery, then I have to go to particular bona fide university, and then I take the training under a bona fide doctor who is doing the surgery, a surgeon, and then I learn the surgery. So in the similar way, this spiritual science also we are learning under sadhu, guru, and shastra. Shastras are like the textbooks, they which guide us. So in the 12th canto also it is mentioned about the importance of Guru Parampara. Here basically Srila Prabhupada is mentioning these acharyas who do not follow the Vedic principles are presently known as the Arya Samajas or the Jains. So actually we do not want to pinpoint anyone, but the principle we are trying to understand here. The real bona fide system, whatever the knowledge comes from the Lord himself. Lord gave this knowledge to Brahma, then it's from Brahma it comes to Narada, Narada to Vyasadev. This it is coming in the Guru Parampara. So this is transmitted as transparently as possible through the system of Guru Parampara. What is the proof that it is bona fide? There will be some transformation in the heart. So before Srila Prabhupada went to West, there were so many of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita copies, versions were there. But there was hardly anyone whose heart was transformed. So transformation in the heart should happen when the knowledge, the realized knowledge which is spoken by the pure devotees, when it enters the heart of the hearer, then there is a transformation of the heart. When there is a transformation of the heart and when he follows the instructions, then all the tribulations of the heart are vanquished. So that is why hearing in the Guru Parampara is very, very important. So Srila Prabhupada in the purport, all these beautiful purport, he mentions about all the teachings from various acharyas he's collecting, and he's presenting it in a unique way. So each acharya presents it in a unique way. These are the Shastras. We have Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, we have Sridhar Swami Maharaj, and then Baladev Vidyabhushan. So many commentaries are there. But each commentaries are unique, and each commentary, even though they tell the similar principles, but they are uniquely presented by each acharyas. So Srila Prabhupada in the first canto, fourth chapter, he's mentioning that what exactly is the realization. So realization means we hear from our Guru and we try to understand it and then practice it in our life, then we get the realization. Sukadev Goswami heard the Srimad Bhagavatam from his Guru, Vyasadev. But he is not repeating the same sentences like parrot. So Sukadev Goswami has realized it. He has assimilated from various places. Then he has internalized it. Then he is presenting it to Parikshit Maharaj. With full understanding, he is presenting. And the mood is mood of compassion. That's why when Shukadeva Goswami was presenting, even his guru Vyasadeva and his Param Guru Narada were also sitting. Now we can say why Vyasadeva only himself told the Srimad Bhagavatam to Shukadeva Goswami. Why Vyasadeva is sitting in the Sabha of Srimad Bhagavatam, or why Paramaguru Narada is sitting? Because when they are hearing from Shukadeva Goswami, it's like they are hearing fresh Srimad Bhagavatam. So that is the personal realization that Shukamukad Amrita Drava Samyut. It's coming from the Shukadev Goswami's lotus mouth. It's like a nectar flowing. So personal realization is not that we are presenting something new. We may be presenting the same thing, but as per time, place, and circumstances, one sees the audience and then he presents the Srimad Bhagavatam. It is not that how we are presenting here in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the same way we are presenting to new devotees or newcomers. The way we present may be different because we don't deviate from the philosophy. The whole idea is that, and we present as per Guru Parampara based on time, place, and circumstance. That's very, very important. Otherwise, even if someone slightly deviates from the philosophy, it's 1 degree deviation. You know, when the rocket is going up in the sky, even if a 1 degree slight orientation may take the rocket to a different track or different destination altogether. So one should not think, that no, 1 degree is not so much. It's okay. So no, that's why we should not allow any philosophical deviations. It is not acceptable. So we know the story in the Chaitanya Charitamrita about that Bengali poet who did not have the proper understanding of the philosophy. And then he wrongly writes that about Jagannath and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He writes that Jagannath is a body, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is like the soul. Soul and body is coming together. And he writes like this, and it takes to Swarup Damodar Swami. Then Swarup Damodar becomes furious. How can you compare Jagannath's body to a material body? And how can you compare Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to an ordinary soul? No, you cannot do this. There is no difference between the Lord's body and Lord's soul and the Lord, basically. So Swarup Damodar did not allow any type of deviations. So it is very, very important because even slight deviations over the period of time may become the strong faith in the people. So we should not allow it. So we need to seek the essence and we have to follow the authority. Because common people, they may not be having so much understanding to discriminate between what is right and what is wrong. It may not be, they may not be able to do it. But the acharyas or the great gurus, they will not tolerate any philosophical deviations. Yasya deve para bhakti yata deve tata guru yasya ete katato hi artha prakashanta mahatmanah. So basically, one who is faithful to the Supreme Lord and Guru, the real essence of the scriptures are revealed to such a person. But one is doubting the Acharya. Oh, why Srila Prabhupada wrote like this? It may be correct or may not be correct. If one is doubting like this, then he will not progress any. So we should not doubt. For a doubting person, there is no happiness even in this life or the next. It is said in Bhagavata. So one should have strong faith in the scriptures and strong faith in Guru and Sadhus. That's why Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, very, very important. So one thing is to follow the right, spiritual path with the right philosophical understanding. But the whole idea is to seek the mercy of the Lord and understand the heart of the Lord and develop right character, right qualities. So that is very, very important. We are not studying Shastra to get a scholarship. The end product should be development of the good character qualities and basically ultimately should lead to love of Godhead. So one may be, studying the scriptures historical way, philosophical way, or analyzing here, there, and all in an intellectual way. But devotees are not in that perspective they are studying. Devotees are always approaching Srimad Bhagavatam from the devotional point of view because Srimad Bhagavatam is also a person. That is why imbibe scripture in our own life for developing the good character, for developing the love of Godhead, and with the attitude of service, seva manobhava. That is the end product. So, from all this, what we are understanding mainly 2 points. One, saving ourselves from the philosophical deviations. And second point, when we are understanding philosophical views properly, then practice it in such a way that we develop love of Godhead and good characters, good qualities. So in the 13th chapter, Krishna is explaining 13.8, Amanittam, Adambittam, on this shloka, basically explains about the culture of knowledge. So he's mentioned just having knowledge is not sufficient. So one should also have good character. Then Krishna is pleased. Knowledge plus good character, then Krishna is pleased. But if one is having the knowledge without good character, then there is a pride. We know the story of Digvijay Pandit, Keshav Kashmiri, how Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had to make him humble. The Panditya is there with the Digvijay Pandit, but humility is lacking. There is a inflated ego. So, knowledge plus humility, then Krishna will be happy. And when knowledge plus humility is there, then transformation of the heart also takes place. But when knowledge plus pride is there, then it can cause disaster. That is what even we see in the world today. There is a lot of material knowledge and there is a pride. They are creating what? Big nuclear bombs, the hydrogen bombs, so many missiles only for the destruction purpose. But humility should be there. The real thing is we have to develop these qualities of humility, compassion, forgiveness, tolerance, patience, so gratitude, all these qualities we have to develop. Of course, it gets developed with the devotees as and when they are practicing devotional life. Yasyasti bhaktir bhagavatya kanchana sarvair gunestatra samasate sura arava bhaktasya kuto mahan gunan manoratena satidhavato bahi. So samasate suraha, whatever the demigods are having all the qualities, these qualities also develop in the devotees. Sarvair guna, that is all the gunas. But one who is a non-devotee, kharava bhaktasya kuto mahan guna, where is the good quality coming? So it is not possible. So that is why the knowledge, whatever we are developing, that should give us good Vaishnava character. That is the aspect of the knowledge. We should not become more proud. There is a story of Sriranga Brahmana. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was going through the South Indian Yatra, so he came to this place, and of course, this Brahmana, he did not have any kind of the knowledge. He was illiterate basically, and when he was illiterate, so many pandits were there, and they used to laugh at this, looking at this Brahmana, because he used to keep the Bhagavad Gita, and he's not able to read proper. And these Brahmanas, they know various shlokas, and they know to link the shlokas, all those. This Brahmana did not have any type of scholarship. But Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he came and he asked the Brahmana was crying. The Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked him, "Why are you crying?" So he told, "My Guru has told me that I should study the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So I am illiterate, I am not able to read it, but I am trying my best to understand in my own way." Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked him, "That is okay. You are sincerely trying to follow what your Guru said, but why are you crying?" So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu knew that this crying was the symptom of love of God. Then the Brahmana replied that, "I see the picture of Parthasarathi with Arjuna, and I meditate upon this beautiful quality of Sri Krishna, that he is the Akilanda Koti Brahmanda Layaka. He is the Sarvaloka Maheshwara. But out of his causeless mercy, he has become the chariot driver of Arjuna. How merciful he is. Just meditating upon this quality, I am getting the cry, this mood." Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is certifying that Brahmana, that you have really understood the essence of Bhagavad. So in Dwapara Yuga, Krishna spoke the entire Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, and Arjuna, he learnt it, and then he fought the war. Then the same Krishna in the Kali Yuga is coming in the form of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he himself is giving the Brahmana the certification that you have understood the essence of Bhagavad Gita. So in the Bhagavad Gita is also mentioned what is the peace formula. What is the peace formula? Bhoktaram yajna tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram suhradam sarvabhutanam jnatvam shantim rachyati atmamam shantim rachyati. So Bhoktaram yajna tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram. And another beautiful quality of Krishna is Suradam Sarva Bhutanam. He is the friend of all living. So, friend of all living entities means, all means includes every living entities. But we see that Krishna is only telling Arjuna to kill Karna when he is not guarded with weapons. And he is only telling Bhima to kill Duryodhana, to hit him on the thigh. If he is Suradam Sarva Bhutanam, then why he is telling all these things? That is because that punishment is required for the welfare of that particular living entity. So we should not misunderstand that Krishna is not is doing some bias with some living entity. No. So Krishna tells, I am equal to everyone. I am not partial. But at the same time, he is like reciprocating as when how we are approaching. Yayata mam prapadyante tam stataiva bhajamya. So that is why when we are trying to develop the love and devotion by developing the knowledge and trying to assimilate the knowledge from the bona fide Guru Parampara, then he reciprocates according. He gives us those good qualities, which is mentioned as Tatra Samasate Suraha. So he's giving those qualities to the devotee. That is why Jivadaya Namaruchi Vaishnava Seva. So when one develops the love of Godhead, naturally one develops the compassion for other living entities. He loves all the living entities. So this is the quality one develops. It is a natural symptom that one has the love of Godhead. Then he is having the taste for the holy name and also Jivadaya. And he is always engaged in the service of Lord and his devotees. So to summarize what we have learned today, basically the Srimad Bhagavatam explains about the two topics, Sthanam and Poshnam. In this particular chapter, it is mentioned about the descendants of Bharat Maharaj. And in the purport, Srila Prabhupada is mentioning two parts. One is about the Lord Buddha and another about the people who are posing themselves as the real followers, but they are not following any acharyas. So in the first part, whatever we say about the Lord Buddha, we saw that why Lord incarnated, and basically, Vedescha Sarvair Ahameva Ved. So basically, the Vedas are meant for bringing one closer to God, but people were going away from the Lord, so Buddha had to stop it, and then somebody had to re-establish the Vedas. Then slowly, how it got re-established. That part we saw, and the second part was understanding the how importance of the learning the Vedic knowledge from the bona fide acharyas or bona fide parampara. For this, we saw that what is Shruti Smriti Puranadi. If we reject this, then Shruti and Smriti, and then whatever is there, that is unnecessarily disturbance. We saw the example of Sajiyas. But one who is a Vaishnava, he follows the Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. And Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, how it is coming down and through the Guru Parampara. This Shastra is coming from the Guru Parampara. How it is transmitted. It is transmitted transparently. Then there is a transformation of the heart. And when there is a transformation of the heart, then all the tribulations will go away. We also saw that each Acharya presents the Shastra in his own unique way. But each when they are presenting it, what is the actually they are doing? They are presenting it with realization. So what is with realization? So they are not just repeating like a parrot. They understand it, they internalize it, they assimilate from the various places, they realize it, and then they present with full understanding. That's what we saw about the Shukadeva Goswami. And we should not allow any philosophical deviations. As we have seen, Srila Prabhupada is giving some of the examples of various people here who are deviating with and making some philosophical deviations. But we saw the example of rocket. and also the Bengali poet. So Sarup Damodar Goswami, he did not accept. But we also saw Yassa Deve Parabhakti, Yata Devetta Guru. But one who is following the Supreme Lord and Guru, for him the essence of the scriptures are revealed. So that is why what one will do in order to receive the mercy of the Lord and to understand the heart of the Lord and to develop the character and good quality and character. This is the end product. This is what is the end goal of what we are trying to develop this philosophical knowledge. We are not reading the scripture for the analytical or intellectual or historical way, but we are trying to understand it from the devotional way, devotional perspective. So we are developing this culture of knowledge. So knowledge without character is like Krishna is not happy. We saw the example of Keshava Kashmir. But at the same time, knowledge with the good character pleases Krishna. So we have to develop these good qualities: humility, gratitude, tolerance, forgiveness, patience, compassion, all these things. And this actually naturally develops Yasyasti Bhakti Bhagavatya Kinchana, that Samasati Sura, that shloka we saw. And from the Srirangam Brahmana, what we learn, he had the submissiveness to his guru, and second point, he had the love of God. But he did not have any scholarship, but he knew the essence, and he was directly certified by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that he knows the essence of the Vedas. So these things we saw. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I really ask forgiveness for the inconvenience happened today due to the technical problem. Please forgive me. And if there are any questions, comments, or corrections, please welcome. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, I think you covered this very tricky topic in a very nice way. You brought out the essence of how a Vaishnava or a practicing Vaishnava or people like us, how we should, um, when such tricky topics are there in the Bhagavatam itself, then how we should look at it, because there's a lot of doubts that will come. So taking the help of Prabhupada's purports and then what is given there, and then we brought out the essence of how we need to look at Buddha avatar, the avatar itself, and then how we should have respect, but then the teachings are not to be taken. So I think those aspects came out very well. And then you stressed on the importance of the Shastras, along with the Guru and the Sadhu, and then how we should always rely on those, and how we should not dilute it in any stage. And then you also gave the examples that Prabhupada gave of Arya Samaj and all that. So it helps us in our mind to kind of place these organizations or people connected to them, and then try to realize that, okay, I will not be able to take anything from them, but then they are functioning, so be it. So those were wonderful points. And then, of course, you went on and then brought out the aspect of transformation, which will happen when we actually follow the Shastras and through the Guru, and the importance of Guru stressed so much. So thank you so much for that. And then how the nectar is coming when it is coming from the bona fide source. So you brought that out. And then you also brought out the spirit or the mood of understanding the Shastras, which is with respect to the Brahmana in the Srirangam Brahmana episode. So all wonderful points, Prabhu. Thank you so much for your association. And we are also sorry that there was a little bit of a let up from our side also. Not trying to get to this. We couldn't start on time. So sorry for that. But yeah, I think I'll stop here. Devotees, if there are any comments or questions, I'm sure Prabhu will be happy to take them. So devotees can ask any comments or questions are there. You can go ahead and ask.
Or if somebody want to add some also. I think because of the so many times it got cut, and so there was really not so good session today. So I really ask forgiveness. But thank you for tolerating. Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, I agree to everything that you said except the last sentence that you said in your entire listing. So it was a very wonderful session and it came out very well. So thank you so much. In spite of those difficulties, I'm sure it came out fine. So thank you so much for that. I'm sorry we had to actually, only the video, I mean, taking off the video helped, I think. So we didn't have any further mishaps when it went through.
Yes, bro.
Yeah. So that's our loss, Prabhu, not your loss. So we couldn't see you. So devotees, if there aren't any questions or comments, then we can conclude today's session. So Madhav, Sharan, Prabhu, thank you once again so much for your time and for your association. Thank you for the wonderful nectar. Thank you for giving us a good bearing on these tricky situations and how to look at it. And that's the takeaway for me. So thank you so much.
Thank you,
So we will end or conclude with Vaishnav Pranams. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhu पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। गौर सीतानाथ परमानंदे हरि हरि
हरि बोल। Thank you.
Hare Krishna. So we'll end the session for everyone. We can catch up all tomorrow again.